Hello folks, very warm welcome to another video here in the Microsoft Sim. And no, your eyes do not deceive you. That's not Jude alongside me today, folks. I've crossed the ditch. Maybe that's not all I've crossed. Perhaps I've crossed the line. Folks, I've made my way across to New Zealand, a place called Karamea. That's where we begin our journey today. Let me zoom out and show you Karamea. Look, there's not a lot to it in terms of the airfield. It's not an airfield that's received the modding treatment as yet. Hint, hint, any freeware scenery developers out there, love your work. If you want to give some attention to Karamea, I'm sure there would be those that would appreciate it. But yeah, we're in the Diamond DA40, my little diamond here in FS Economy over here. And yeah, look, I found this bloke lurking. I'm normally the one lurking, but he was lurking. His name's Joshua, not Josh. Very important. Joshua, not Josh. And as you can tell, he's got the pilot gear on. He looks the part. He's over here doing some flight training, and he wants to make his way home to a place called Alexandra. Now, I said to Joshua, not Josh, sure, I'll give you a ride if you tell me where it is. And even better if it's somewhere in the vicinity of Queenstown. And he said, well, it's your lucky day, bro. It is in the vicinity of Queenstown, so can you drop me off en route? I said, sure thing, Joshua, not Josh. So that's what we're going to do, folks. We're going from Karamea to Queenstown via Alexandra. Let me show you that on a map. Here we go. Little nav map. Karamea is sort of at the top of the South Island up here. And we're going to head down to Queenstown, which is kind of towards the bottom of the South Island. And going to head coastal, head along the west coast until we sort of get to the Franz Joseph Airport. And then we'll sort of head inland a bit, overhead Mount Cook, or at least the airport, which is not too far from Mount Cook itself. And then sort of skirt Lake Pukaki. I just love saying that, Lake Pukaki. Probably say it several times. And then down into Alexandra, which is here. And then it's a short run from Alexandra. We'll drop Joshua, not Josh, off there, and then head across the hills into Queenstown. Try and get there before dark. That's the plan. Quite a long flight here. Little navnap's telling me 2 hours 31. Well, 2 hours 30. Geez, that's quite a long flight. Okay, forgot that I was in the Diamond. That's at 8,500. There's no way we can cruise at 8,500. Lowest safe is 15. 15 and change. Anyway, bloody Nora. Righto. So we're going to have to assume that we've got some oxy on board. Joshua, not Josh, has brought the oxy with him. Okay. Do we have agreement? Thank you. We're going to have to get up to 15,000. Yeah, the Diamond will do it. It'll just take a while to get there. But, alright. Okay, yeah, 10-2 here, but we're going to be coastal. The hills are in here, the Alps, and then over the glaciers and stuff. Alright, we'll plan 15. Can do, so if I plug that in, up here, 15,000. What does that do to my ETA? 232. Actually extends it. Looks like we're going to have some headwinds for a while and a bit of tailwind on the way to Franz Joseph, and then headwind and tailwind. Yeah, righto. All right. Have we got enough juice to get there? Fuel gallons remaining. What do you mean 18? No, we've got a bucket load of gas on board. We're nearly full. Anyway, folks, that's the plan today. Karamea down to Queenstown. We're going to do a stop at Alexandra. Let's get moving. All right, welcome on board, and welcome on board, Joshua, not Josh. How are you, mate? Strong silent type, I see. Yeah, plenty to say earlier on the ramp, and now that I've got you in the pit, you've gone all quiet on me. Bit like Jude. Very much like Jude. Folks, if you're wondering what's happened to Jude, let's just say that we've agreed to see other people. Actually, it's more a case that Jude wants to see other people and I just have to go along with it. As regular viewers of the channel will know, there'll be a video up where I went to rescue her on Hamilton Island from a subscriber. I got up there, and she refused to come with. We're officially on a break, Jude and I. I mean, we've been on a few breaks, but this is official. Like, this is serious stuff. So I've crossed the ditch to drown me sorrows, and I found this bloke, Joshua Not Josh. Very important that you say his full name. He doesn't like abbreviations. He doesn't like shortcuts. A bloke with 4 bloody strips on the shoulder doesn't take shortcuts, does he? Do you? Oh, mate, this is going to be hard work. This is a long flight, Joshua. Josh. Bloody Nora. Anyway, folks, should we get the show on the road? We probably should. We've got some stuff happening here. We do. Right. Starter up. Let's go. Local Barrow and weather. I'm getting 29.44. Pretty much anywhere I fly at the moment. I don't think live weather's working again. I don't know. I know there's been a beta release of the sim update number 8. I don't have it. I'm not running betas in this sim. But yeah, I'm getting 29.44. I've done a few flights today, and it's always the same in different parts of the world. That can't be right. It can't be right, folks. Get our posies on. What do we need to worry about? Transponder. Give you some codes. We go all the 6s. We'll come back and put that onto altitude. Flight plans in. Zoom that range out. Joshua Not Josh. Yeah, so that matches what we had in little nav map. Yeah, all good. I don't know what the wind's doing here in Karamea. Windsock. Joshua Not Josh. Can you see a windsock, mate? Oh, there it is behind you. There you go. All right. Departing in the direction that we wish to head. That's pretty good, which is sort of a southerly direction. Runway 1819, something like that by the looks of it. Yep, we'll get our pitot heat on, why not? Alright, let's do this thing. Parking brake can come off, and we're going to go around to the... Which way can we go? Can we go around to the right, Joshua? Not Josh? We can. Alright. We are heavy as, man. Or bro, as they say over here. Hey, bro. We're heavy as, mate, but we're going to be sweet as. I had a viewer comment that an American, I think he is, and he learned the phrase sweet as he passed through Christchurch en route to the Antarctic. And that's where I learned the phrase sweet as well. Back in Christchurch back in the day. And now I tend to overuse it a little bit, trying to sound cool and failing dismally. So we'll head down to the end of, I think it's 19, yeah? 19 here at Karamea. We get some flap happening. That's good. Yeah, so I'm Judeless. I'm not gonna chase her, keep chasing her around the world. I can't force the issue. She doesn't want to be with the old man. I just have to accept that and get on with my life. You know, not happy about it, especially after all I've done for her. I've made her a star here on the channel, and that's how she treats me. So anyway, gives me an opportunity to make friends with lovely young men like Joshua Not Josh. I'll get this thing lined up, folks, and we'll get on our way to 15,000. That's going to be one slow ass climb here in the little DA40. We've got a very small turning circle here. Righto, heavy on the brake. We'll see if we can get it around Joshua Not Josh. What do you reckon? Oh, not too bad. Too far the other way. Boy, it's heavy. We're right at MTO here. It is an FS economy run. We've got some cargo and some packs heading down to Alexandra and Queenstown. So, heading bug aligned. We're going to go altitude on the transponder. We can go landing lights on and strobies can come on. What else? Taxi light can come off. Is that on, off? I don't know. It's a bit hard to tell. What's happening here? Landing light should be on. Taxi light should be off. Posies and strobes are on. There we go. I think we're right now. Right. What did we say altitude was? 15,000. Bloody Nora, that's going to take a while. I've already said that though, haven't I? Righto. I need every bit of this strip, I reckon. So heavy. What are we rotating at? Around about 65. That'll do us. Give it some juice, introduce it. Get moving, go full juice here. Away we go. Oh, beautiful. Love flying this aircraft. It's admittedly it's a stock one, but with the mod it's a little ripper. One of the best feeling aircraft. Like, it gives me a real close sense of the aircraft I used to fly. Better than most. Really nice to fly. I don't do a particularly good job of flying it, but it feels pretty right. That's what I'm trying to say. Now straight out here for a bit. I'm going to track down the coast. Obviously we say farewell to Karamea. Folks, if you happen to be from this part of the world, folks, give us a shout in the comments. What's it like to live at Karamea? Let me know. And let me know if I'm pronouncing it correctly as well. I often get hauled over the coals for my mispronunciations, but folks, I do my best. Right, we'll climb out about 90. We've got a really long climb. I'll let Georgie do most of the flying here. I'll rejoin you at different points. We'll have a chat, and might talk a little bit more about Joshua Not Josh as we continue our way down to Queenstown via Alexandra. We'll see you in a bit, folks. Oh, that's bloody lovely, isn't it? Hey, nice way to spend an afternoon. Flying in Untreated. With a lovely young fella. I'm slurring my words already, and I haven't even had a bevy. That bodes well for the evening ahead. Anyway, how we going? During this long cruise, we're up through 6.5, so we're climbing at best rate, and we're doing about 650 feet per minute. And you do the sums from 6.5 to 15,000. How long is that going to take us? Yeah, I don't think we're going to have great climb performance as we get up to 15 either. I think I've taken it to 15 before. It's been a little while. But anyway, shall we talk about this young man? Shall we find out a little bit more? Let's come and sit on your lap, Josh, as we do this, mate. Do a bit of an interview. How you going? This not uncomfortable? There. Nice to see you, mate. So, Joshua Not Josh, what's your story? Well, you were telling me before, mate, that you're not gay. You just haven't found the right girl. Is that what you said? Now, folks, the reason I mention that is that long time ago, I'll try to keep this story short. Long time ago, let's just call this bloke Uncle John. There was a bloke in my life, and every sort of, Christmas or something like that, big occasion, everyone would bring their partners, and most people were heterosexual, or at least on the surface they were anyway. But there was always this bloke, I'll call him Uncle John. Uncle John would always show up by himself. And when you're a young bloke, it stands out. It's kind of like, hey, everyone's got a woman, and kids, most of them, but Uncle John doesn't. And, you get to asking questions. And the response, I recall, was the same every year. Uncle John, he just hasn't found the right woman yet. Well, maybe if he stopped looking at the bloody Blue Oyster Bar, he might have a chance. If you know what I mean, folks. Stop getting himself arrested and thrown into a Turkish prison. If you know what I mean, folks. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'll get off your lap now, mate. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay. Nothing whatsoever. It was just interesting that people would create a sort of a cover story. It was kind of this code. Kind of like when, you'd read in the paper sometimes that something had happened and they'd refer to someone as a colourful racing identity. Joe Tight-Lips Houlihan a colourful racing identity. You know, it's just code for a crook. You know, a confirmed bachelor. The bloke's probably gay. I mean, there are some confirmed straight bachelors, I'm sure, but it was just funny. And of course now, modern times, every second person's gay. So it seems. Look, folks, please don't take offence at any of this. I mean, absolutely no offence whatsoever. I'm having a laugh, folks, because the world has become ridiculous in terms of its PC-ness, political correctness, and you know, it's look, it's difficult to have a conversation, even you know, sort of light-hearted humour without offending anyone. And I'm reminded, someone told me, and I can't remember who it is. Someone once said to me, offence is taken, not given. If you choose to take offence at something, that's your choice. And yeah, there are people that go out of their way to make life uncomfortable, to create problems, to create division. I'm anything other than that, folks. Anything other than that. And I have known many people who are of a different sexual orientation to myself, who are of a different gender identity to myself, and I have respect for everyone. I have absolutely no issue with someone's sexuality, unlike a fair portion of the population, it would seem, particularly those religious types. I recall a few years ago here in Australia we had a big sort of debate around the legalisation of same-sex marriage. I know that happened in other parts of the world as well, and I think it's a fantastic achievement. I fully supported it, always did. In my opinion, marriage is a mistake that everyone has the right to make. I've enjoyed it so much I've done it a couple of times. But you know, love is love. Love is love, and but yeah, it seems to flare up occasionally, eh? You know, people get all knickers in a knot about other people's knickers and what they're doing with the tools inside those knickers. You know, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I've got no time for it whatsoever. Once I hear people start to say it's an abomination and against God's plan and all that sort of stuff, you've lost me, folks. Or, actually, you haven't lost me. I'm absolutely going to open a can of whoop-ass on you. Verbal whoop-ass. And I will take you down if you start that crap with me. So, anyway, that's a really unexpected tangent by having Joshua, not Josh. Now, I knew someone, his name wasn't Joshua. His name was actually Philip. And it was Philip, not Phil. Now, here in Australia and other parts of the world, we sorry, folks, if you come here to enjoy some flying, I'm trying to look outside and give you a bit of a sense of what we're doing. The virtual aviation aspect of my videos, not just bullshit, bloody nonsense stories. But yeah, Philip, not Phil. And that's how he used to, like, you'd introduce him. I worked with him. You'd introduce him. You'd say, you know, Philip, this is Tony. And Philip would say, "G'day, Tony. Philip, not Phil." It was like, mate, get the stick out of your ass, will you? You know what I mean? But look, yeah, respect. And after a while, people just, you know, take the piss, and they'd call him Phil just to G him up. You know, that's how it was. Anyway, folks, we continue the climb up through 10,000. Still doing 600 feet a minute. We're going all right. We've got. Let's talk about some flying stuff, hey? I'll get myself into a bit of trouble. So we've got 35 gallons left. We've got endurance for 4 hours, 4.2 hours. We've got an ETA at the moment of 3 hours from where we are. Hopefully that will come in once we get up into the cruise. We've got plenty of juice. That's not going to be a problem. And we are sort of halfway. We're sort of coming up on Westport, which is down here, town of Westport here. And then we're going to basically track Greymouth, Hokitika on the coast, and then to Franz Joseph, and then Mount Cook, and then into Alexandra. That was the plan. Folks, we'll continue the journey. We're going to risk some icing here, I would think. And I don't think we're going to be able to outclimb this cloud. Those peaks get up there, don't they? Clouds looking very, very ordinary these days. Perhaps partly due to my settings, but they haven't looked right since several sim updates ago, in my humble opinion. Yeah, they are what they are. We put up with it. Folks, we'll continue the journey. I'll see you sometime in the cruise. Just snatching a break in the cloud, or there was a break in the cloud. That was Lake Bukaki through there, folks. Look, it hasn't been the best conditions here for sightseeing, but can I just say, and on behalf of Joshua, not Josh, that the Orbex mesh for New Zealand really does enhance the South Island. It's spectacular. It really is very impressive. And this flight won't do it justice, and that's why in the edit you're not going to see a lot, because you'd just be looking at the fluffy white stuff, the pixelated grainy grey stuff. But yeah, occasionally you get a break in the cloud, and that's kind of what you see, folks. Yeah, we've just passed Bukaki. There it is, interesting colours. And we are, it's not that far from descent actually into, so about 64 miles from Alexandra. We do have some terrain en route, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful of our descent, but we might sort of come in on the eastern side here and down into Alexandra. We will be landing, so we've got a custom airport in Alexandra. It looks quite impressive. I haven't actually flown there before, but on the flightsim.to, as we take another view outside, just gorgeous country. The Alps are just spectacular. So if you can fly here on a clear day, and you can manipulate the weather obviously to make it a clear day, you will be impressed. I'm quite sure of it. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Folks, I'll join you for the approach into Alexandra. We're about 15 miles to the north of Alexandra Airport at this time, folks. We scoot over the hills and through the clouds. Bloody lovely. Very fond memories of flying in this part of the world in Prepared. And in Prepared we had the Orbex North Island and South Island packages, and often used to fly the magnificent Real Air Turbine Duke down here, and the Real Air Lancer Legacy. Great aircraft, weren't they? We could only wish they could make their way into the Microsoft Sim, but that looks very unlikely indeed, folks. How are we tracking here? 12 miles to run, Alexandra. What do I remember about this strip? Not enough. Not enough is the short answer. Alex, so that'd be the NDB, which is sort of to the northeast of the field. It's not going to be of any importance to us. It would be if we were making a visual instrument approach, but we don't make instrument approaches, do we, folks? Everything's visual, even if the conditions don't suit it. That's just how we roll. Joshua, not Josh, can I just say thank you for your company, mate, and I hope you've enjoyed your time with the old fella. Probably got a little bit uncomfortable there earlier on. We were talking about your situation. And sorry, folks, look, this video was actually, the idea for it came from a little exchange I had with a subscriber. That got me as far as getting Joshua, not Josh, on board. But then it sort of went in a whole different direction. That's what untreated mental illness will do, folks. And recording software and a flight simulator. But no grog. No, haven't touched a drop today. So I can't blame the alcohol. Anyway, we might go autopilot off here at this point. Make an approach towards the sort of southeast by the looks of it. Yeah, that'll do us. Alexandra. I know the town's sort of to the town's to the southeast of the field, isn't it? Remember, it's been literally years since I've been down here. Now, the memory is a little foggy. Unlike the weather, which has cleared up beautifully. 2985 on the Barrow. We've got a light southerly breeze. Coming down through 4,500 feet. We're 7 miles away. Field elevation here is probably 1,000-ish, something like that. At a guess. And we will make a very quick stop here. And let Joshua, not Josh, out of the aircraft. He can get on with his afternoon, as will I. So the field is somewhere down there, folks. Somewhere down there. It's a very narrow strip as well, if my memory serves me correctly. I'm squinting hard. I think that's the field here. Right there. Yeah, I think so. We'll keep the speed up a little bit. Been a pretty enjoyable flight, just a little bit ordinary in terms of the visuals. The scenery, haven't been able to see much, and the weather. There's been something going on there. I don't know whether it's a problem at my end. I have experienced some issues with the bandwidth. You know, the error that comes up that says your bandwidth is not good enough. something to that effect. That's been coming up a few times. I am struggling with internet bandwidth on a good day. There's our field right there, and I think the sort of terminal, if that's the right term for it, is sort of down the other end of the field. So that'll work. Yeah, I was running with photogrammetry on, but I've had to turn that off. The sim just keeps warning me that it can't keep up. So I had to turn that off. It actually disabled itself as I was doing a flight yesterday down in the Gold Coast in Australia, which is an area that has got the photogrammetry treatment, and made a significant difference. Like, it looked pretty good, even though the photogrammetry is years out of date. That's worth bearing in mind. There are some landmarks down there at the coast, some developments that have happened in recent years that are simply not represented in the sim. So I know that the photogrammetry is a little out of date, but it looks pretty good. But then when it sort of becomes disabled as you're flying along, it really does change things. Anyway, we're going to have to go into a bit of a slip here. We're going to end up high. Hasn't been the best of approaches. Alexandra. We are going to land into a headwind by the looks of it, so that's a plus. But we are definitely high. I'm going to slip her in, as the actress said to the vicar. We'll take a bit of flap. We'll keep that slip on, or slip in even. Right back down to idle. Have faith, folks. Have faith. We'll get there. 500. Thank you, Betty. Wide arc. We're going to take second stage of flap. That speed will come off. Runway 1, looks like runway 14 here at Alexandra. We'll take that slip out shortly, like about now. We'll get ourselves down. We are going to land into a headwind, as I said. That's alright. We've done alright here. We've rescued that. Wasn't pretty, but we got the job done. Retrim. Try and plan it down nicely. Show off a little bit to Joshua, not Josh. Oh, well, we got it on the centre line. That much was, well, close enough anyway. Alright folks, I'll get us parked. Actually, stay with me, because this is a custom freeware Alexandra, so we might as well show it off a little bit and give our thanks to the developer of same. There will be a taxiway down here on the right. Oh, it looks really nice. Trey's impressed. Let's go on the brakes here a little bit. Get those flaps coming up. We'll get off here. Make a high-speed turn, like so. And we'll park in front of that building. The Central Otago Flying Club. Nicely done. The scenery, not the flying. Alright, let's get this thing parking brake set. We can register the flight in FS Economy. There we go, door-to-door service. Joshua, not Josh. Can't beat that, pal. Righto. FS Economy logged. Josh, nice knowing you, pal. Catch you later. Folks, the next segment will be the short flight across to Queenstown.